My most sincere apologies. You happened across me while I was partaking in some human, I mean non-human flesh. Flesh? Is that the term? I forgot you humans. I mean us humans. Ever so squeamish. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. My role tonight is to introduce you to another world. A world in which anthropomorphic cats write out plot lines with world-shattering effects. A world in which snake people transcend genre, time period, and common sense. A world in which 5 legendary writers come together every Thursday. Well, I mean, every other Thursday. Oh, I mean, any Thursday? When they can be asked to pull their fingers up, let's be honest. Well, I'm going to let you all go. But I'll leave you with some parting advice. Adam, how is your Brummy accent, my dear?
That was marvellous.
What? Yeah, so good.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was so.
What's with the red hue to your
So
That
method.
is some, like, sword,
Yeah,
is
is that
that
fair?
right?
Purpose?
menacing but powerful?
Hang on, let's change the mood lighting back to...
I like it. You bringing
But
that
you're,
to D&D next week?
But you're glad I gave
yo,
it
these
to him in
notes,
advance, right?
Pardon, what's that? Burge?
But you're glad you had it in advance, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, the second the second I saw what it was, I was like, I can do this!
Yeah, like, yeah.
It was really well
glad
done.
that we broke the rules, the fundamental rules of the introductions. No, I'm just kidding.
Excuse me while
The
I
hill I'll die on.
derobe myself.
Oh, yes, please. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Good job we're not
Hello.
live on the internet anymore. To
True, yeah. Just
people.
Hello,
everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Not been fairly swift turnaround, Mr. Burge, I think,
Yeah.
compared to my approach. It's good. Good to be back on it. Feels fairly fresh.
I'm, to be fair, not running a bakery, so
Yeah, this is very true.
That's it. Popsy Conway in Conway.
Yeah, sponsored by Vanilla Slices.
Everyone likes a slice.
I feel like even though like it took ages, like last time, like we had like a longer between like episodes last time. I feel more disorientated this time for some reason. It's like I've totally forgotten everything that happened suddenly in between this episode and the previous one more than any others before. But,
well, Phil and myself can clue you in a little recap if you
Absolutely.
have a little recap.
No. I established
No.
this earlier that I don't have those
Did you?
anymore. I told
But
you
I thought
in
you-
when was that
particular
established?
words that I didn't
Yeah,
have
You,
that.
you said you said specifically that you did have it, but anyway,
Yeah.
I might. Okay. Let's give it a go. If I do have it, I have it. But like, I don't think I will. I think I'll press this button and nothing will happen. Yeah, nothing happens. It's the same you guys.
six seconds.
Me having like lag essentially, because otherwise my PC
Yeah.
would have had to download them and it would have taken forever. So I was like,
that was it.
but, you know.
You mean
The
I'm
one-
not
the
going
one
to get to do
time-
a transition noise?
Well, you
I still do
can.
the
I still have the
noise. Still do the
transition.
noise.
It's just that I don't have the recap or the script ones or
We'll
anything.
do it. We'll do it in post. We'll do it. In
Yeah,
post.
well, actually, I could
Cut
do
all
it
this,
post,
cut all
actually,
this, cut
funny
this,
enough.
cut
Yeah, cut all that.
Yeah.
So by way
And
of a
silence.
recap,
And go.
yeah, I'm just find a clap it. Find the spike and go.
So, yeah, Phil established a new arc after the But Sudden Leap. So, do you want to talk through it, Phil?
Jacob
Or?
Burgess, or
Do I? Yeah,
'Cause
so no, that's fine. Yeah, so obviously we've had a recent theme of having separate arcs. The most recent of which was the But Sudden Leap arc, which was concluded by Adam and Burge. Is that right?
Mhm.
Is that right? Yeah. Then forget who wrote the last script, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, so it was a chance for a fresh start. So it was my turn to kind of trigger the saga and see where we end up. And I did what I always did, which is lean on us as characters. Sort of, so previously I'd used Yola in the future as like a highfalutin Hollywood script writer, and also my love of always dragging us back to where we started, which is essentially the Debonair and Dr. L. See episodes 1 to 18 for details. With a brief interlude before I brought him back again. So with that in mind, combining those two things in the future with Yola as an established studio head, Octopi Studio, and he's dried up a little bit on his script ideas as the villainous Iolo Roberts. So he's kind of brought in the old writers group, us, or
As himself, you mean?
sure, yeah, heightened versions of ourselves to pitch scripts and pitch ideas. So I sort of established somewhat caricatures of you guys to pitch scripts to the fake version of Yola. How fake do you want to say it? I'm curious to see where Burge has gone with it. So yeah, so the first script was Phil pitching a Debonair-based script to Yola, which he's contemplated and had a look at, and now it's, according to the spinner, Burge's turn. So this is Burge's scramble at
what was what was the just so that the audience know what Burge was working with? What did you like dismiss Burge's script as? You said like, oh, it's
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
Oh, the actual Jesus Christ!
Like, the actual
no, it was
thing that you like made.
well. There was
Burge
two
do.
aspects of it. There was the easier one was the black and white Mongolian, ancient Mongolian one, but the harder to remember one was a solipsistic existentialism.
I think it was the eternal battle between solipsistic existentialism and nihilistic absurdism,
That's the one.
or something.
or something. Yeah.
It comes up anyway. So don't.
Good.
Which is
is that where you went then, Burge? Is that what you leaned into, or was that to be determined?
Well, I won't give too much away, other than a lot of it I've stuck with the exaggerated versions of ourselves in the future. The whole thing takes place kind of a little bit before the start of your script.
Cool.
From last time, and the duration of it is essentially the same. So we're not going very far forward in terms of the actual timeline, and I think it'll become clear as we delve into it what's happened. What's he done
at this point? Really, there's a timeline
Yeah.
at this point.
Timeline is the time it takes Phil to pitch his script, which happened last time.
I'm all for time travel. Just putting it out there. I'm down for it.
Should have mentioned y'all.
And I very much lent into the. You said in the previous script, Yola was giving off big villain energy, and I've pushed that further, I think. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fun, but just the actual pitch bit, I found it very, very difficult to work with solipsistic.
It is.
And I was like, I know I didn't need to. Yeah, we were talking before. Yeah. We were yellow gone.
No, we were talking before about how you and Adam have like the worst like setting off points, whereas like me and Luke have had it so easy, and like I'm known for like punny bullshit, and like Luke's known for sci-fi. We're good. We can just write that. That's fine. Whereas like
I've
you
already
guys,
got my bit.
me too, mate. I'm already. I can do it now. But essentially, like Burge, you got like essentially your pitch is write the most pretentious script possible, which is super difficult, and then Adam, which is just completely sideswiped me altogether because I don't know where the origin of it is a love story, but it's an Oedipal love story between like a parent and mum, but it's also an office workplace one, which, and granted, you don't have to do that. Like you could just easily
Might change
pivot.
it.
Yeah,
Might
I would
change
play
it.
that,
Yeah.
I would play that. I would not blame you for changing that. I'm perfectly honest.
Speaking from the experience of trying to write to Phil's
Ancient
pitch for
Mongolian.
what I would write, I would say definitely change it because it was incredibly difficult to actually try and come up with.
Yeah. To be honest, that wasn't necessarily my intention that you'd lean directly into those suggestions because it's just do exactly what you want with it. So
Yeah.
I thought
I did try and tell that to you, Burge, but we'll see.
No, you did. I just thought I thought it'd be a good challenge.
Yeah, it's essentially
And
like
it was a
leaning
challenge.
into your worst.
I don't know whether it was a good challenge.
Yeah, you're essentially leaning into your worst instincts, realistically, aren't you? Like you're playing an exaggerated version of yourself, and you're writing the script that your exaggerated version of yourself would write. So, it's it's still a difficult task. It's not an easy one, but it's really fun.
Yeah. Well, let's
Let's delve into it.
let's dive in and see.
100%.
Let's jump in.
Well, Luke Williams, I'm going to need you to give me some sort of sound in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice.
Transition
complete.
Yeah, transition complete.
Oh, nice.
Luke's got some voices.
Why did we have that transition, but not the earlier transition?
I don't know. I just don't know what's going to come out now. I'm only
No, not you. I'm talking to
Because
producer Steve.
I purposely downloaded that one so that we had something.
Right, okay.
Because that one is like a regular one. Like the other ones are just like that one, but with like the word recap on it. I thought we could just say like, oh, let's go to a recap, and I could like we wouldn't necessarily need to swipe. We could just say the recap, because otherwise we'd be here still, and I would be answering like 4 minutes after you guys. You'd be like, hey, Iolo, and I'd be like, hey. So I think it works better this way. So yeah.
What?
Is everyone ready?
I believe so. Ready to rumble.
Luke?
Let's get ready to rumble.
And that's how it starts. That's how we always start our scripts. So. Okay. Episode 35, Poor Swollen Nips and Bream Bakes by Adam Jacob Burgess. Previously on Pitch and Put Suddenly, interior Octopi Studii Day. Phil throws down his complete script on the floor like a mic drop.
What do you think?
Surprise, surprise. Phil brought back the debonair.
Sorry, 1 second. I just have to. Okay, I'm starting again now. So your idea is essentially fan wank redemption and a reboot.
Well, yeah, basically.
I don't hate it. Possibly needs more time travel.
The group are collectively pondering the script.
Well, my only villain really... What was my only villain really just some weird Mark Hamill proxy?
And is Dr. L actually a villain in the first place? Ambiguous, if anything.
Silence! No time to dwell.
He gestures to Phil.
To the bean with you! Who's next?
The others look at each other, shrugging. How do we decide? Iolo marches towards his glorious obsidian desk.
Ooh, I have just the thing.
He reaches into a large drawer on the desk and pulls out an ornate golden spinner with the names Phil, Luke, Adam, Burge and Iolo etched in. He places it on the desk and places a cover on Phil's nameplate.
We spin for it! Spin for it! Spin for it! Spin for it! Spin for it!
Iolo flicks the dial of the spinner. It spins spinningly round and round, flicking past each name as the tension in the room builds. The spinner slowly begins to ease off. But before we find out where it lands, we cut to titles 33 minutes earlier. Interior, outside head office, Octopi Studii Day.
Love how you say that.
Outside the
Yeah.
bustling office stand Adam, Burge, Luke and Phil. They watch the hive of activity enviously through the floor-to-ceiling glass windows. At the far end of the room, Iolo sits at his fuck-off obsidian table facing away from the others.
God, imagine having your own successful studio.
And then imagine forcing your mates It's pitched to you like we're peasants paying tribute.
Luke spits on the floor. Burge looks at him over the top of his horn-rimmed spectacles with barely suppressed disgust and superiority. Savage. I thought you were involved.
Sorry, I missed your line there, Burge. Sorry.
I thought you were involved.
I played one Cockney gangster. One. Do you know how many Cockneys he has in his films?
Not really my taste.
It's a lot, Burge. A lot.
Burge takes off his beret and offers it to Phil, who wipes a solitary tear away with it and hands it back.
So, what are you guys pitching today, anyway?
The others regard him suspiciously.
Christ, I'm not going to steal your ideas.
Literally happened last month.
You'll hear our ideas in there, you little snake eyes in the grass.
Don't need to be so self-defensive, guys. It's all bullshit anyway. We're just feeding his ego. Should all just refuse to tell him our ideas.
They murmur their agreement. The secretary waves them through from behind the glass. Luke bursts through the door, running.
Me first! Me first! Me first!
The others chase after him.
No, I want to go first.
No, it's my turn. Phil's muscles ripple as he charges past the others, knocking them out of the way with ease. Eventually, they all get to the oversized obsidian desk. Iolo is still facing away from them, barking instructions on his hands-free phone.
Obviously LA time, you fucking clown.
The group can hear a muffled and squeaky voice on the other end of the call. It sounds a bit like Beaker from the Muppets.
And I'm bored.
Iolo presses a red button on the handset.
Next!
The secretary who waved the group in approaches the desk that is clearly overcompensating for something. She hovers near to Iolo and speaks quietly while the group stand by awkwardly. Iolo stifles a groan.
I knew we should have cut those fuckers from the contracts. What the fuck have they ever contributed? And they keep coming back like fucking... like one of them fucking...
Iolo shrieks.
Idea, Squire!
A 12-year-old boy pops up from inside a box, decorated with question marks. He's wearing a superhero cape with light bulbs and question marks stitched into it.
Of course he is. Of course he is. A cockroach, my liege.
Keep coming back like fucking cockroaches.
The idea squire slowly retreats back into his box.
Well, I'll cut those fuckers loose sooner or later. Send them in.
The writing club look around awkwardly, desperately avoiding each other's eyes, and with it, acknowledgement of the indignities taking place. Mrs. Secretary opens her mouth to explain that the group is already here, but Iolo interrupts her.
And let's keep it brief, yeah? Perhaps I can have an appointment in, say, 15 minutes?
Mrs. Secretary leans in and whispers something in Iolo's ear, but Iolo snaps at her.
Christ, just making something up. Just make something up. And you have to lean so fucking close to me. You're like a fucking...
The idea squire slowly starts emerging from his box.
No, not yet! It's like a fucking... What are they called? Sucking your body, like a fucking... a fucking leech! You're like a fucking leech! Now piss off and show the boys in.
The idea squire slowly re-enters his box. As Mrs. Secretary backs away from the table, Iolo swivels round in his chair and sees the writing club for the first time. Iolo gestures towards the assorted beanbags in the corner.
You boys take a bean. Lukey, how are you, bro?
Iolo approaches his old friend as the others settle into the beanbags. While Luke shares his idea with Iolo, Phil taps Adam on the arm.
How are you feeling about yours?
Not bad. You?
Yeah, good, man.
Phil leans in close to Adam's ear, tensing as he does so to emphasise the threat.
You fucking suck.
Adam reaches out and physically pulls Phil's ear close to his mouth, goes to whisper and then shouts.
At least it might take like 6 years to write mine. Balls that line up.
You're the cancer.
Adam and Phil begin swiping at each other pathetically, but Iolo intervenes with a tone that suggests this happens every month.
Children, please.
The idea squire slowly emerges from his box.
Not you!
As the idea squire returns to his box, Luke walks dejectedly over to the group and slumps into his beanbag, grumbling.
Sci-fi, he says. Everyone loves sci-fi. Fucking time travel. Batman.
Just take a bean for now, bro. You've got definite nega bean energy.
Burge lifts himself from his beanbag ungracefully and approaches Yola at the desk. He's clearly slightly nervous, but trying his best to hide it. He adjusts his horn-rimmed specs in his beret.
Burge, my muse, what do you have for me this week?
Simple. The eternal, enduring, perdurable, perpetual, sempiternal, and everlasting battle of solipsistic existentialism versus nihilistic absurdism.
Here we fucking go.
Preferably expressed in the guise of a fancy tea party. And it's in black and white. And I'm playing all the parts.
Oh, for fuck. This is worse than the script you wrote in ancient Mongolian.
Oh, come on. It's time we went arthouse. We have the perfect platform.
We?
Well, no, I didn't mean
Who's on the outside of this fucking building?
Octopus Head?
Yes, and whose fucking face has he latched onto, you fuckwit?
You can't really tell from the outside.
Mine! My face! Mine! We have the perfect platform. Jesus H from Steps, Christ. You're on the thin ice with me here, Burge.
But if we can just...
Take a fucking bean!
Burge walks with his head hung in shame and slumps back onto his beanbag. I don't know why I've done this. Adam pulls out a retractable scooter and scoots over to Yola's imposing desk to pitch his idea.
Scoot, scoot!
Burge takes off his beret and holds it in his lap. He turns to Luke. Is the beret too much?
Ah, mate. It's great.
Luke pats Burge on the back consolingly, secretly sticking on a note that reads pretentious fuck. Phil uses his index finger and middle finger to point at his own eyes and then point at Burge. I'm watching you. Adam's Oedipal saga is rebutted. Yola chastises the group, and then Phil begins his own pitch. But Burge is no longer listening. Has he ever really been listening? His problem is that he knows his pitch is fucking amazing. It's just getting them to understand its brilliance that's the problem. Maybe if I go through it one more time. The others stare at him. He hadn't meant to speak out loud. Phil throws a mini fridge and narrowly avoids him.
Wait your fucking turn.
All right, Jesus. The group begins reading Phil's pitching script. Dr. Elegant, great. I can phone this in while I concentrate on the real deal. And just like that, and just like usual, Burge is lost to the other script that constantly runs through his mind. Pitch and put suddenly. Burge's pitch. Thanks, guys, so far. Like, everything's been
awesome.
spot on.
So
So
funny.
funny.
Exterior. The plane above plains. Day. In the plane above plains, there is nothing. No clouds, no swirly-whirly time vortex, no anthropomorphic cats. Nothing. Not at first glance, anyway. Squint a bit, and you might just be able to make out a table. After a very cool 10 minutes shot slowly pushing in on the table, we see it in much more detail. There's a red and white polka dot tablecloth laid over it, Polish colours, of pretty china cups and saucers, and an afternoon tea service. Finger sandwiches, scones, little pastries, and rose-filled ponchki. 5 cosmic figures sit around the table. They are indistinct even up close, more like shifting blurry silhouettes than fully formed people. No, it's not the 5. They are mid-conversation.
Couldn't hear them.
No, too quiet.
What are we doing today?
The same thing every day. We do. Sorry again. The same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
My name's not Pinky.
I think he was quoting one of his quaint cartoons.
Cream cake, will you?
There aren't any cream cakes.
I meant Bream cakes. Pass me the Bream bakes.
The figure gestures to the pastries. Fish heads suddenly sprout out of the flaky crust and begin speaking rapidly in their fishy language. Enough. The 5th figure clicks its fingers and the fish heads disappear.
Oh, judgment. Who had to ruin absurdist fun?
Surprised you even bothered to remember our names, Sir Limbismus.
Ha! I don't mind existentialists. Judging by Judgment's face, the fun is about to begin.
My name is Iolo.
Not used to look me so quiet.
Did you not hear me? Was it too quiet?
It's all right.
Judgment clicks its fingers again, and the tea service disappears, replaced with a large playing board. The image on the board depicts a flattened world with mountain ridges, oceans, and cities drawn on in detail. Basically, it looks like a D&D map. Roll your dice. The other 4 figures at the table lean forward in their chairs and roll their dice. Existentialis rolls a clump of earth, which breaks apart a bit on impact. Nihil throws out a small colourless orb that sluggishly crawls into the centre of the table. Solipsismus throws out a small grinning statue of himself. And Absurdus throws out a d20, which hits the table and turns into a hot dog, which then grows feet and runs around the table until Judgment flattens it with the palm of its hand. Nihil to go first.
I really don't see the point.
It's the eternal battle to determine the fate of the world's strongest pumpkin pavlova perfume or something.
Whoever wins controls destiny.
The camera pans to reveal another cosmic figure, Destiny, but this one is bound and gagged, peril and fear flashing in her eyes in equal measure.
How did we capture a proper god again?
I can only speak for myself, obviously, because I'm the only one who actually exists. So I'd say it's because I'm fucking awesome.
Well, if I'm to go first, I guess I'll start right about here.
Nihil points at a small village by a river on the map. The map glows brightly and then slowly descends from the table. We follow the map. It continues to descend faster and faster and faster, flying through the void until finally...
Burge?
Interior, head office, Octopi Studiae, Day. Adam, Iolo, Luke and Phil face Burge with a range of emotions, but mostly mild annoyance. Apart from Phil, who is never less than fully seasoned.
You're getting so much shade in this, dude. All right.
I love that embodiment of Phil. Just rage.
Oh dear.
You with us, dude?
What? Yeah, why?
Because that's the 3rd time you've missed your fucking line.
Oh, sorry guys, which page?
Which fucking page?
Iolo pulls Phil to his chest and starts stroking his back.
Shh, my baby, shh. It's okay. Don't throw the bean out of the bean with the bean water.
Iolo turns to Burge with a disappointed frown.
I'm warning you. Luke can tell you what happens when you disappoint me.
Luke instantly puts his hands on his chest over his nipples. He shudders.
My poor swollen hips. So much pulling. So much Tabasco.
Okay, I've got it. He says if he had $1 for every soup bar he couldn't give a fuck about, you'd owe him. So is the implication that there are other soup boys he does give a fuck about? Phil steps away from Iolo and starts closing in on Burge. He is growling, gnashing his teeth and frothing at the mouth.
Luke, quickly, say the next line.
Luke nods. It's the only way they'll get Phil to stop.
Well, that's mean.
Phil backs down as the script read-through continues. Beads of sweat roll down Burge's head. He'll need to concentrate far harder if he's to continue with his own script in his head. Exterior. Quaint fantasy village still to be named, but something like Farthingtown or Holdings or Schmear Day. The village is normal in a pseudo-medieval fantasy village kind of way. There's people in silly frocks chatting, milling wheat, walking their Gothrupian dog beasts. We focus on a single home. In that single home, a single bed. And in that single bed, a single teenage boy. In the most unusual of circumstances, we happen across him while he isn't wanking. He's reading a book. His name is something like Frunkle.
So, hang on. He defeats one of the most powerful wizards of all time with the power of love. Bit of a letdown, eh, Spurgle?
Amazing.
Yes, beautiful.
A little fairy zooms up from under the bed and hovers by Frunkle's head.
Hey, listen!
What do you mean? I asked you a question.
Oh, yeah, sorry, autopilot. Last guy I was with needed a lot of help. Bit of a letdown. Well, nothing wrong with the power of love.
Frunkle eyes him dubiously. He's not convinced.
Well, I don't know how useful it would be if I was ever get out on a quest. Ooh, hey, Mr. Orc with an axe the size of Mount Kimuju. Can I interest you in not cleaving me in two and instead having a big hug?
Exterior, the plane above plains, day. At the table far, far above the world, Sismus slams his hand down hard.
Objection. This boy is clearly under Neil's spell.
Oh, please, it's just a little sarcasm. Let's see where it goes and grows or flows with toes and bows.
Speaking from experience, I'd say Solvisimus is right.
I'm not sure there's any point.
Objection overruled. Sarcasm does not equate to nihilism. Continue. Exterior, Frunkel's bedroom, day. Back in the bedroom, Spurgle floats over to Frunkel's shoulder and sits down.
Probably not a good idea, Tuggenhawk. I mean, if they were charmed, you would know. With charming spell, I mean, a spell of charming, not just a quick charming spell, like, here, a bouquet of cinnamon-flavoured flowers.
Right. Not really what I was getting at. Anyway, I should probably go to work.
Frunkel puts his book down and gets out of bed. He grabs his satchel and heads out. Just before leaving the room, he opens a drawer at his desk and pulls out a glistening dagger. Frunkel considers it for a moment.
I know it's dangerous to go alone, but you've got me. Maybe no need for the big scary knife.
Frunkel gets the
He's
dagger.
getting faster. He's going like a
Just leaves
nose
home.
in the end.
As instructed. Beautiful.
Frunkel pockets the dagger and leaves the house.
Okay, nobody listening to me. I'm only present with the sole purpose of giving advice to adventurers after they fall, after all.
Exterior street scene, Schmer village, day. Frunkel walks down the street with purpose. He waves Grachunk Chunk to the people. That's what hello is in this world. And continues toward the shoe factory. Spurgle continues to hover around him. There's a weird sound coming from inside the factory. It's like a mechanized hammer striking a rubber chicken.
Something's not right.
They make their way inside cautiously. Interior, shoe factory, day. There are hundreds and hundreds of teenagers, all sat at desks with cobbling apparatus in front of them. There are also stacks and stacks of shoes around the perimeter of the large room. The teenagers have stopped working and are staring at something happening at the far end of the room. It's clear that this is where the weird noise is coming from. A small mole-like goblin is standing behind a pile of earth and a large half-submerged drill. Frunkel and Spurgle watch the goblin cautiously, who is grinning malevolently.
I declare this factory under the command of me, Molvolio. Is that a mole voice? I don't know what a mole voice is.
That was a mole voice, Phil.
Classic.
I made it a mole voice.
But that's not right.
The room of teenagers turn as one to stare in shock at Frunkel. Spurgle hovers in front of his face.
What's he doing?
I actually like working here, and I don't want a weird moley gobbly thing to take over.
Frunkel takes the dagger out from his waistband and holds it in a semi-threatening kind of way. It'd be more threatening if he wasn't 100 feet away from his opponent.
Great, the knife's out again. Do you even know how to use that thing? Have you read up on Z targeting yet? And he's walking away. Marvellous.
Ooh, a challenger. How marvelous. It won't just be one-on-one. Oh, moles! Moly, moly, moles!
The crowd shakes as moles suddenly burst up through the earth. Frunkel looks at Molvolio with steely determination, but then a colourless orb drops from somewhere up above and lands with a splat on the ground in front of Frunkel. His eyes flicker. The colour within them seems to turn slightly paler.
You know what? Fill your boots.
What are you saying?
I'm just not sure there's any point to any of this.
Okay, Molvolio is liking what Molvolio is hearing.
You can't resist, can you?
Actually, maybe I'll just do this.
Frunkel takes his dagger and flings it in a sharp line straight at Molvolio. It strikes true between his eyes and knocks him down. The room of teenagers scream in horror, as do the moles, as does Molvolio.
Mola!
Molvolio is dead. Spurgle stares at Frunkel in horror.
What the hell?
Does it really matter? Does it?
Well, yes, it does. You're not supposed to just kill a guy, no matter how annoying and moly he is.
But why not?
Well, because it's fundamentally a bad thing to do, morally.
What if I don't care about morals? Who even makes the morals? What if I reject the morals? Morals.
although most of the teenage cobblers are still panicking after. although, sorry. Although most of the teenage cobblers are still panicking after Malvolia's murder, there are some who keenly watch the debate between Frunkle and Spurgle, an idea taking root within their minds.
I don't like where this is going, Fruggle. As your personal fairy, I really must insist that...
And I insist that you shut the fuck up.
That doesn't sound quite right.
And I don't know what you're fucking staring at either, Burge.
Wait, what? Interior, inside head office, Octopi Studio, day. The writers' group are sat on their beanbags. Burge looks at Phil, who doesn't seem to be directing his eye towards him this time. He decides to wing it. Bit rude, isn't it?
Exactly.
Adam furrows his brow, and Burge realises he's about to get told off.
What? It's rude to tell him to shut the fuck up when he keeps whispering cocksucker motherfucker under his breath while I'm trying to read my line. And it's me that's being rude. Is it, Burge? Is it me being rude? Is it? Is it? Is it?
Adam, let's all just take a bean.
We're already sat on your fucking beans.
Phil, Luke and Burge look at Adam in shock. He'd crossed the line. They watch as Yola's face twisted, contemplating how best to punish Adam.
This isn't about the beans, is it? It's not even about Luke's desperate attempts to put you off in order to please me.
Adam shakes his head.
It's okay. This is a safe space. You can tell us what's going on.
Adam looks up at Yola, glances at the others, vulnerable.
It's just probably silly, but I miss Spaceport.
There's a pause, then Phil, Luke and Burge all burst into fits of laughter, pouncing on Adam's moment of weakness. The laughter dies down. Yola looms over Adam.
Genuinely hurt. Genuinely made me feel bad.
You think that I, Iolo Roberts, would ever stoop so low as to work on that shitty idea ever again? It's a dud, a flop, a no-good piece of shit on the bottom of my shoe.
He leans in close to Adam.
I don't make flops. My middle name is Win, for God's sake. That'd be like saying fucking... It'd be like, idea, Squire!
Over at the obsidian desk, the idea squire creeps out of his box.
It'd be like Susie Champion not winning the gold medal.
There's a short pause as Yola contemplates this.
No, I hate that. Back in your box. Get!
Yola takes out a long whip and cracks it against the obsidian desk. The others wince as it almost strikes the 12-year-old boy. The idea squire retreats back into his box, crying. Yola turns back to Adam.
No, we won't be returning to Spaceport, and if you ever mention it again, I'll make sure you'll never work in Hollywood ever again.
But I don't work in Hollywood.
That's an end to the matter!
Phil stands up from his beanbag.
Can we get back to politics? Sorry to go David Dixon.
What?
It's a Hamilton reference. Educate yourself.
You're the worst, Burr.
Phil playfully punches Luke on the arm. It really, really, really hurts.
Okay, let's hurry up with Phil's pitch. I'm getting bored with this. Luke, no more whispering cocksucking motherfucker while Adam is speaking, okay?
Yeah, fine.
Burge, you're up. If you can remember the page this time.
Oh, fuck, the page. No, wait, it's a trap. It's Adam's line. Phil stares daggers at Burge. He gives him the I'm watching you sign again, and then turns to Adam.
You're taking my test subjects, maggot. You can pry them for my cold dead.
Ah, damn. Sorry, wrong button. Burge breathes out a sigh of relief, but then notices the others staring at him with a mixture of delight and malice. Fuck, it was a second trap. They led him to the wrong page.
Someone hasn't been paying attention.
Called it.
What could be so important that you didn't pay attention to Phil's script?
Burge considers how best to respond. It's just that I feel so strongly about my idea. I just wanted the opportunity to frame it in the best possible way for you guys. Honestly, there's something in there for everyone.
Go on then. That was your idea. That was so important you didn't pay attention to mine.
To be fair, I hit most of the beats in yours.
I hate and beat you in a minute, you fucking fuck.
I'm getting bored.
Yeah, just tell us the idea. Don't skimp on any details.
Don't make it any more arduous than it needs to be.
Cry.
Oi!
Luke and Adam high five. Burge tells dealers all about Argus and Judgment, Frunkel and Spurgle, and that it cut between the weird gods that represent specific schools of philosophical thought and the fantasy world that they are influencing with their game. There's a long and awkward pause.
That, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart with absolutely zero exaggeration, is the worst idea I've ever heard in my entire life.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it, Burge? Was it worth it?
This is insane.
Was arduous.
Luke holds his hand up to Adam, but Adam leaves him hanging.
We've literally just done that.
Burge looks downcast. A solitary tear rolls down his cheek. He wipes it away with his beret. Yalla pulls out a gavel from one of the drawers in his fuck-off desk.
I hereby declare that you are banned from the next 2 pitching sessions.
He leans toward Burge and taps the gavel on his forehead. It's humiliating. Yalla covers Burge's nameplate on the spinner and goes to spin the spinnable spinner.
Time to spin! Time to spin! Time to spin! Time to spin.
The dial on the spinner goes round and round, flicking past Adam, Luke and Yalla's names, building tension with every rotation. The spinner slowly begins to ease off. But suddenly...
Should we go straight to the spinner just so we can, like, so it ties in?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, straight to the
Actually
spinner.
complete the script.
Oh. Right,
This is
okay.
good.
There's only 3 of us, right? Yeah, Phil and... Yeah, so okay. Just so we know, and then we can talk about it.
Right, nice to not be on the Burge, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Whee!
Look who's back.
Yay! Right, back to it. Okay.
Will there be time travel?
Yeah,
Will there be time travel?
It'll all be time travel. I'm gonna like go back in time to like now, present day now, us talking about this now. No, that was excellent, Burge. That was so funny.
So
fun,
good.
Burge.
Fucking
So,
unhinged
so
man, it's
fun.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I really liked it framed in the way that you're like daydreaming about your own like story
Yeah,
instead of the others. That's just so funny. It's great.
It was a good way to get the exposition out previous to what the events that had transpired already.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
enjoyed
really
it.
kind of getting Burge's interpretation of like what was going on in the room, sort of thing, and yeah, it was.
Can I just point out the funniest fucking line in the world is like Adam, Yola, Luke, and Phil face Burge with a range of emotions, but mostly mild annoyance. Apart from Phil, who is never less than fully seething. That is a fucking work of art.
What page is that? So,
That is brilliant. That's so well like paced. It's like a joke. It's so great. Oh god, that's brilliant. I love Phil's personification in it. It's just the funniest.
I got roasted on that one.
Just
I enjoyed it.
rage.
It wasn't like roasted. It was just
No,
like,
no,
a funny interpretation of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. And like the way that like you always describe his movements as like flexing and like pulsing. Oh, I love it. That was so fun.
And the new tradition was born.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. That is like
Let's get away from us as characters, right?
no, not now. I might not even have like a pitch in mind. I'm just gonna have us talk. Have Phil like slowly like fucking resent every single one of us.
Yeah.
That was ace for me. That was really really fun. Really really good.
I really
I just
enjoyed
thought I thought it'd be funny that it's the same. Like there are bits that are the same. I hope you didn't mind that, Phil. Like I was just
that. No,
like
not at all. Like, yeah, I sort of say it's
piggybacking on
Yeah,
your.
of course, yeah. No, I like
yeah.
it. It's like it's almost Burge's perspective of events, kind of thing. It's like
Yeah,
It's like Rushman Burge. It's like Rushman.
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
wonder-
exactly what I was going for.
Yeah, no, totally. But I was it was great. That was really really fun. That was awesome.
It really was.
It was great, and I see what you mean now because you were saying like, oh yeah, I'm really leading into like us talking, and I do think that is like a really clever, like all credit to Phil. Realistically, like it's a clever way of like Phil could have easily gone. We're all just gonna pitch a script, and like it could have been like an earnest sort of like pitch for us. But I think that element of like the fake us
The caricatures, yeah.
And us being
Yeah.
able to sort of like go back to us in like it means that you can like skip big portions, like big rubbish bits of exposition that you have to do. You can just skip that and just go back to us and like have all sorts of like things happen.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great. It's awesome.
So,
It's so fun.
Definitely. I thought that was like, I definitely leaned into that because it's something like, you know, we've talked about writing dialogue for, you know, the Debonair and Dr. L being really easy, and
yeah.
same with like Argos and Skimp. Like it was like like as soon as I'd settled on kind of roughly what the caricatures would be in this one, it was just really easy to then, because it's just like it's us but exaggerated and
it's so
twisted
funny.
and yeah. But like as ever, it was all in the reading as well. It's like
It is really funny.
Really,
to me
really
that, like,
funny.
You're like it's kind of spot on. It's like Burge's most cliche script that he like the fictionalized version of him could write. It has like the fancy element because obviously you are like a fancy author, and then it also has this like you lean into like what Phil said with like the philosophy thing. So you have like an element of like these philosophical gods influencing this fancy setting, which is just like the perfect like pretentious Burge script. Do you know what I mean? It was so funny. Can I ask?
I love that meta. The meta. Sorry.
Yeah, no, carry on. You go carry on, mate. I'll ask.
Yeah, it's similar to that. Like just that the meta-ness of that I found really funny. That like, it was a joke that you're going to write like quite a pretentious script, but it's like you kind of wrote that script within another script. It was so funny. It's like really good.
But
It's like no, I've got an idea for that as well, but I'm just going to make a joke out of it. It's so good.
But the idea that like the fictionalized Burge is like so like distracted that he can't stop thinking about his own idea is really funny because it's like the kind of idea that someone would tell you like, yeah, it's like a traditional fantasy novel, but the philosophical concepts of the fantasy novel actually discuss the fantasy novel in a plane above it, and it's just the perfect like pretentious fantasy script. It's great. Can I ask like my scene descriptions for Absurdus had him have like lots of things in his mouth. Did you want me to permanently play that as someone who had stuff in his mouth? Or
I just thought it'd be a funny, like I was just trying to like find weird descriptions.
like absurd. Yeah, fair enough. Because I was like,
Just like
what is
Out for the bees.
what's a Bream bee?
Bees.
That's not real, right?
no,
So you saying cream cake?
Okay.
In a,
well it's
Funny way.
it's like a different. Oh my god! It's like it was just like
thought it was one of
like
your, like,
absurd
Band
absurdism.
names again.
Absurdism. It's just like it's just like
Nonsense.
the absurd. So it's nonsense.
Yeah,
So
no,
Bream bakes
I got that.
don't exist.
No, that's fine. Because I wasn't sure if it was like in that regard there was a completely fabricated thing, or it was just like he said this like weird niche cake. Because I'm not Phil.
No.
I don't have like an encyclopedic knowledge of cakes.
not very worldly.
I'm not very worldly
So,
when it comes to cakes.
So absurdism was just like bizarre.
Bizarre,
I
to
knew
say,
what
and I
so
love
I,
that.
I knew what that meant. Solipsism. I knew what that meant because it's like
Self-serving, isn't it?
it's like you think that you can only prove existence based on your own experiences. So essentially, you're the only person in the universe, right? Nihilism. That's a stretch to the limit of my knowledge. But it's like
It's just emptiness,
basically
isn't it? Yeah,
there's
that's-
pointless.
yeah.
There's no truth.
Yeah,
So
which I think
everything's
Luke played
pointless.
it well, to be fair, with his
Yeah.
kind
And then existentialism. What the fuck is that? I was googling it. I was like, I still have no idea what this is. I've been looking at this for a while. Gonna make him posh.
I'm kicking myself for not playing
Oh, yeah,
absurdism like crazier realistically because it didn't dawn on me what it was until a bit too late realistically. I
So
should
did
have,
like, the brain as well. I was like, I actually watched that clip again before. So it's not-
Existentialism probably could have been read like Stephen Hawking or another famous scientist, Brian Cox or something like that, exploring the universe and our place within
Also,
it.
can we? Brummy
You
accent
fuck.
from Adam was fucking
Yeah, that
brilliant.
was really good.
That was fucking
So
excellent,
good.
mate. You
It was,
nailed
I
that.
think like the first few were alright, and then it just very slowly drifted into Ringo Starr. It was like it was not Brummy by the end of it.
Don't do it, Thomas. I like the veiled references to Zelda as well with the Z block and all.
Yeah, that's great. It's block in there.
Yeah, it was very hard speaking like Navi when Navi speaks. 2 words sums it all. Wait, what would Navi sound like? And
Hey.
my voice crackled and
Listen.
Well, actually,
hey, listen.
the description was normal. It was only Navi for that first. Hey, listen,
That was a,
and then it said
that was a-
normal
that was your
voice.
choice.
Read the
Yeah.
script, Luke.
So absolutely not. I'm holding my hands up and saying that's not my fault.
Phil, calm down, Phil.
It was a
Calm down.
choice.
He
See
got
the
it wrong
rage. I was
once.
about to say Burge is getting the rage. Luke, yeah, to me, your pacing on speeding up was very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
That's very good. Very fast. That was fun.
See, that seemed better in a Navi type voice rather than me speaking my normal voice
definitely.
going really, really fast.
Yeah. It,
In my
Very
head,
good.
I thought you'd be just from the start of each new paragraph, you'd go at your normal pace, and then it would speed up as you got to the end of it. But the way you interpreted it was like from
The whole thing
start.
just gets faster.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious. It was great.
Interesting choice.
it's fun, that.
It was good. It was really good,
Very,
Burge.
very
I
well
thoroughly enjoyed tonight.
Very enjoyable.
Do you? Thank you. Do you know where you're going to go, Yola?
I have ideas. Mine's an easier task than yours, though. I just have to do what I do fucking normally, essentially. I just have to write a normal Iolo Roberts script because I'm a walking cliche anyway. So I'm literally just going to be like, yeah, time travel shit. Cool.
I don't know, you know. I think there's. I don't know. I think you could go.
I am gonna try in lieu of like doing my usual shit. I'm going to try. I'm gonna do a similar thing to you, where like the script is like less of the focus. So I'm gonna like have like I'm gonna, like you know like a vague pitch that dips in and out of like some absurd pitch or whatever. But it's mostly gonna be us just trying. I think.
Are you going to write in character? Are you going to write your script in character as Yola the villain?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I'm going to. I think I'm gonna like do scene script. I'm gonna make it so that like Iolo the villain has a script to pitch, and then it's just sort of like maybe like he overly directs it or something. So like you know like it cuts back to me going like no more northern or something like akin to that. I mean, so I change your voices and maybe like recast you and like overly control it. Maybe I don't know. I'm just sort of spitballing. I've literally no idea if I'm honest. Yeah. Be fun though.
That was my initial thought. It'd be like his rebuttal to like hearing Phil's and then Burge's pitches. Like no, something like, and then he's got a pitch that he kind of like spouts out, but it's either just it's really bad or like the rest of us can't get our heads around it or whatever. Like,
yeah, that's 100% what I think I'm gonna do. Is
there's a lot of room in that.
Yeah, and just like
Out of interest. Sorry, you carry on.
carry on.
No. So it makes most sense chronologically if you carry on.
Oh wow, you've got a chronology now.
He flexed.
Phil just wants to have the last word again. No, yeah, that's essentially what I was going to do. I had like some ideas. Some ideas I had was essentially just like making like a B movie script that's like terrible, cheesy, like the B movie scripts that I've like fucking bored you with over the years. Make one of them, but like I did have an idea where it's just like one of you might comment like, "Yolo, this is 200 pages," and we're just like, "Oh, we'll just skip to the good parts." So it just like means that we could just get to read like ridiculous scenes from like maybe just one or two scenes from a B movie, and then in between it we'll just chat shit. But that's just a spitball, and I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. I'll think of something.
Yeah, sorry. I was just curious if Luke and or Adam have any ideas at this point, or how do you feel about this thing? Do you feel like you can come at it?
Got mine. Super easy, real easy to do. I can't give anything thrown away, but mine's really, really easy for me because I'm more or less going to be leaning into sci-fi. I've got a really nice way to incorporate us, our caricature actors, our caricature characters rather, and the pitch. Yeah.
Cool. And the same to you, Mr. Bunn.
Take a beat.
I think I did have an idea, but I've potentially got like another idea off the back of Burgess tonight.
I think I know what that might be.
It's Spaceport.
Yeah, and I for real had that idea myself. Is that when like Phil told me like the vague idea of his season, I was like, I am gonna write Spaceport. I'm just gonna be like throwing it out because I thought it'd be so funny if like my character just throws out a script and it's like Spaceport episode 2, and you're like, hey, you can't write Spaceport episode 2. That's our thing. I'm like, oh, I did it. But I love that idea. I do love that idea. I miss Spaceport as well. Can I just comment that I also miss Spaceport?
I'm not happy with this aspersion, Burge.
Yeah, well, Yola told me it was a crock of shit. So.
I don't know fucking such thing. I love Spaceport more than anything.
Maybe that's the next arc. We all write a consecutive episode of Spaceport.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be hard though. We love it too much, I think.
No, it wouldn't be hard. It'd be hard for you.
It would be hard. It took us a year to write
penned out the first one. You're the one that's fiddled with it the most. I think it'd be fresh. I think you'd enjoy it.
No, I think like this potentially Adam scripts, if that's what it goes to, is a good way of like touching base with Spaceport without necessarily interfering too much with that process. If we do go back to it one day, sort of thing. It's a nice little nod to that era.
I'm just gonna turn up with Spaceport episode 1. And, like, it'll be my name and spin on a Thursday, or on Saturday. Be like, I'm ready to go, guys. Let's
go. Just for full clarity, it was a joke about Spaceport. just in case anyone.
You already killed Federico. No, Phil.
Kill.
Oh, I killed the racist character, did I? Well,
thank you.
It was not racist.
Federico wasn't racist.
Fictional.
The writer was racist.
It's just folksy.
The way we read it was racist.
okay.
But
cut that.
Papamuki is
by the way, guys,
like the hardest
there's no
we've ever
women
laughed.
in this.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Yeah, it's
Why we said it's a Burge? Oh.
Burge is such a narc.
Yeah. Fuck off, you square.
You're having such a good time.
We genuinely had such a fucking laugh at Federico. Like, it was the hardest we've ever laughed at something. It was that, like, that Federico moment.
It was good.
That's funny, that shit. That's so funny.
Just before we go, when we were reading through this, do you ever have those moments where you like, you kind of like think, what has caused me to have written this? Like what like the ideas Squire. What?
I love that. I love it.
What happened to like that would be in my head?
That is you
I'm
to a T,
glad that it was.
You had like idea Squire. You had fucking an old lady cracking like an egg and having a little child in her. You had Red Ball. Your mind is
Red Ball is probably peak, isn't it?
Red Ball is
Those two are both the same scripts, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think they possibly were.
Burge. Is it possible you accidentally take LSD? Just accidentally, like there's no judgment.
Really into like psychotherapy sort of thing though. Is like it's always something inside something else. Like there's a little girl inside an old lady.
It's like a Russian doll thing going on.
Box.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yes,
Burge,
it's a weird
what is
little boy in a
inside
box.
you that is like desperate to
Trying to get
out.
Yeah.
Just full lunacy, I guess.
Speaking out. Yeah.
Just one good script, boys. One good script.
It's not that one that we've just done.
That was so much fun. That was seriously
great. Absolutely the most fun ever. It was great. Anyway, bye, fictional audience.
Cheers, everybody. See you in 2 weeks, shall I?
2 weeks, yeah, 100%.
Oh shit! I might have went in 2 weeks. Didn't really happen. Anyway, let's do it after. Bye.